Speakers, please tell us your organizations who are here representing India.
Okay, my name is Mohammed from Ethiopia. My name is Mohammed from Ethiopia. My guy is, as we all know, at least rivers are being consumed for vegetable production. These vegetables are consumed by the people of it. Could you identify the kind of circumstances? Because we are taking so if we see substances in the region because the water is already polluted, we are using. So I don't know. I don't have belief whether this toxic substance.
Reaction okay, ያኛው ልጅ የት አለ? የኤንዲፒ ልጅ ፖስት ዲሴብል ፓርቲሲፓንት ስክሪን ሼሪንግ ኦኬ ስክሪን ሼሪንግ ማድረግም አይቻልም። ግን አድርገውታል ግን ክብሩስ አድርገውታል። ኦኬ አሁን ጆይን
I think as a recommendation we have to push the policymakers to organize or to establish an institution for controlling and disposing of these toxic substances and do a research type of research that make awareness of the side.
Thank you so much. Next. Okay. Okay. You can continue to you.
Okay, thank you very much for introduction for the presentation and also for your presentation. The major thematic area of this station is environmental policy and gas exports. As far as I know, it is as replaced environmental policy secretary a long time ago. And one of the focus areas is environmental pollution. The major environmental problem is through land degradation. That's how it one. So, I want to know your perception in the enforcement of policies and strategies that they are as prepared, pollution control conservation and drafted. And as far as I know, banning plastic bags has also been issued. The environmental impact assessment proclamation has also been issued. But how is the enforcement of this in-place policies and strategies relevant for pollution control in the country? This includes the waste management, the major relevant to the discussion points, but I want your opinion, or colleagues' opinion in the audience. Where are we in the enforcement of the environmental policy control proclamation?
Thank you, Mr. Babu. Okay, then.
Thank you very much. My name is
management. It's better to yesterday's discussion with multilateral arguments. I think that. So my point is that one will be the related to the management of the chemicals. I think it's better to enforce the legal instruments. So yesterday when we talked about multilateral agreements, as a nation, we ratified different conventions and management, so that we have to enforce the legal instruments, like we have proclamations to waste management. We do have also the guidelines for other legal instruments. So we need to enforce those legal instruments which you have, and we have to also came up with additional legal instruments. We can have that one discussion on the legal instrument. The next one is related to the institutional. I think I will share what it's better to establish institutions within an authority or something like that, so that this institution will manage, will administer and enforce the legal instruments that we have. And I think it's better to be that, and we will come up with solutions. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next up.
Okay, thank you very much. The way we are using chemicals are some problem, you know.
Can you please introduce each other?
My name is Tajana from Environmental and Forest Forum. And when we look at our using of chemicals in our country, it has a lot of problems. And for example, if we look at a simple organization like floriculture, there are a lot of chemicals utilized there. Surprisingly, the people are mixing different kinds of chemicals as they want. They don't know what the reaction may create. And to avoid this type of chemicals, there should be an enforcement of law. To enforce the law, there should be also an information. It needs capacity building for the relevant institutions like environmental protection, and also has to get media coverage. Unless otherwise, the information is not distributed very well, and the people are not struggle to live in safe areas, and people are taking as a simple thing. Therefore, if possible, it is better to mainstream in different relevant institutions or offices to prevent and control these problems. This is what I want.
Thank you so much. One last one, please. Yes, I will back to you. Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having us. Lovely discussion. My name is Abel. I'm from UN Habitat. I understand Ethiopia was fighting into the name of environmental protection, but we are currently scrambling patching the holes. But as a citizen, what sometimes keeps me up at night is the completion of the dam. And the completion of the dam will undoubtedly increase the culture of outsourcing of large conglomerate industries to open up branches and industries in Ethiopia, because basically to be like candy shop or such kind of big industrial organizations to their shops here or their manufacturing industries, because we have looser environmental protection laws as well as cheaper labor costs and so on. So in anticipation of that, do we have the institutional, policy, technological, or other resources to combat the influx of such kinds of occurrence like that will happen in the near future?
Thank you so much. And then, yeah, at the bottom. Yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Tabaskin from California Environment Authority. Mr. Kumar has presented a good lesson about the hazardous chemicals and waste management, and federal as well as the regional, European regions have been trying to solve the problem in different ways, and we have been doing together about the transformer policy. Then many tons of chemicals were prepared and disposed to the producing countries, and we have such information for this presentation. What I want to say for this particular topic is that the government has imported different kinds of chemicals from abroad for the production of agricultural inputs, for education purpose, for health, for research, and different kinds of purposes. And those chemicals, even prior to the region, they were deposited in different parts of the rural areas, and the people are recommending that some of the chemicals were unknown. What chemicals are, how is there, and then it is possible to even to open the storage, and the problem is severe in the rural areas. They have been complaining different meetings. What I want to say, another thing is that the federal proclamation 1090, I think, as a best management, identified around more than 30 hazardous chemicals. I think more than 30. Are we exhaustively identified? Are we exhaustively identified those dangerous and hazardous chemicals? If Mr. Mahas updating information they can raise. The other thing is the lack of awareness. What Mr. Tajashan said is that the people are using these dangerous and hazardous chemicals for production and for other purposes. What we have seen. The research done at Jimma University, they are using this GD for the production of vegetables. The other is around Almaya University, but they studied is that they are using GD for the production of chat, but is involved in foreign language. And then the people are consuming these hazardous chemicals, and that should be given attention. Even you can see industrial zone of Oromia, around Yukam, Shok, Ghana. The farmers around the farming or producing with liquid waste tomato, and different kinds of cabbage. And already consuming in Addis. And then we can guess from that how much we are consuming chemicals being vulnerable to these causes. The one I want to say is that even we do have what should be given, what I'm saying, want to say that there should be given awareness creation for the whole society, even for students, for researchers, for health officers or health workers about that, how they can manage those expired chemicals, how it should be disposed, its management should be given attention. The other way is the law enforcement should be given attention because even not the government only, other private companies, organizations import these chemicals without its management. Then after sometimes it will get expired. Then the management, the disposal, the level, different kinds of management are lacking. The organization is trying to assess the management, the practice of the storage of those inputs, not an agricultural community, but Tajania said, floriculture, they are using around more than 200 chemicals for the production. And then it should be given attention and the law enforcement should be carried out. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your questions. Then, yeah. I will back in. Please. I will back. Then.
Shall I proceed?
Sure.
My name is Mario. I came from Industrial Park. My point focuses on the first point is raising how can we strong as a chemical waste management issues. I try to focus problem that we face currently. Hazardous electronic waste management is critical regarding this. In fact, the proclamation is already there, but there is no implementing strategies. There is no guidelines. So, response that's proclamation already said is important. CPA has a mandate to regulate that proclamations are good. But still there is a gap of the missing point. There is no any facilities that's taking hazardous waste and electronic waste managed. In your presentation, you try to mention where we have some activities to the licensed private companies. You know, one thing it should be considered that the package should be full when we are giving a license. Your role may be into there, but how can we incentivize that? And they need some land that they are operating, unless we are just linking as a package. This one is very, very difficult to implement, especially if they have hazardous because the industrial parks are less companies they generate the same kind of waste. Still they are storing established. The investors requires some kind of environmental compliance certification because they serve for them as a marketing strategy. Rather than giving the certificate, some audit certificate. So in this area, we need to understand who is giving this certificate. There is no institution. So when you are setting proclamation, you should have institutional arrangement strategies, responsible who is executing these activities. So this area should take into consider. And as an area, we already communicate some standards, some proclamations to this. It should conduct some kind of situational analysis. What kind of proclamation standards are required? That's their part. Very important. Still, there is a gap.
Thank you so much. Colleagues, may I ask you again to refrain? You are mentioning a very good and important point. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. You are mentioning very interesting point. You are asking questions. So I want to reframe you to focus on. You know that our problems are money. We can't list them out. So, but we have to understand each other. What has to be done to address these problems in terms of capacity, in terms of finance? Yes, in terms of finance, even in terms of institutional strength. These are the framing guiding questions, to come up, even with the proposal or solutions. I'm not going to, resist you to ask questions, but we do have to follow the guiding question as well. Then I will give the opportunity to my friend there. And those who are online, you can join us with the Zoom. I think some colleagues are following the meeting with Zoom. So colleagues who are on the Zoom, you can follow, you can ask the question and raise your ideas. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I'm from the Biodiversity Institute. This is Elias Vishnuka. I want to raise on environmental protection and environmental policy on the area of legal policy frameworks. I want to make something to be incorporated on the legal and policy making processes so as to strengthen the West. The first thing I want to raise is public interest issues. Most of the framework is not actually go for the public interest litigation. Yes, public interest litigation has a big role on protecting the environment. On one aspect, it has a big scheme to protect by giving a right for the interested group to raise or to institute a suit on the polluters in our legal system or our civil procedure is not giving.
Sorry,
our civil procedure doesn't have this kind of legal rights to give or to institute legal suited to or by the interested groups issues of pollution. For example, we have this practical examples where the carbon pollutions were actually sometimes there were an instituting the suit for the protection of that area by bringing the suit to the courts. So the pointers to come up that there is no procedural right given to such individuals or interested groups. Without having final result because there is no rights in this aspect. So this should be something that has to be put in place. So it's really helps in protecting the policy protection issues. So, one thing is that also on the in our policy, there is no constraint principle. The policy also incorporate or has to actually hold this principle that the polluters has to hold accountable for this is a very key issues. If every individual is going to be accountable for its act of pollution, there has to be a mechanism to control or significant reduction of this pollution by giving accountable approach for every each individual polluters, especially if this pollution comes to the different factory owners, and this should be a case, and there has to be also commitment to enforce such a law, such a policy by making or giving a specific direction to control, or to enforce the accountability for its problem. Therefore, these two key things has to be considered, and it should be in place of our policy and our proclamation, regulation, and directives as well, so that it has to go to the grassroots on the ground, so that it could play a great role in protecting the pollution. This is my point, and also institutional commitment has to be there as well, not only the laws, not only the legal framework and the policy, it's also an institutional commitment. Willingness has to be there, and it should be with a certain level of accountability, and there should be the accountability should not be on a single institution. It has to go to the cabinet, to the water level, and to that level there should be an office or things like that, so that it has to be addressed by each and every cabinet and every local areas who are polluting or who are contributing for the pollution, for the aggravation of pollution in the city, in the urban areas, even every areas that is very responsible in this issue. Therefore, there has to be a commitment from the government side, from the institutional perspective, and also there has to be a commitment for having this mandate. An institution who has this mandate should have and should be evaluated accordingly. It should be the very real commitment that lay in place. Because I think there is, I have seen different laws, many laws that is now applied. And this is lack of commitment. It has to be also, it's advised, or it has to be held accountable with other certain mechanisms of controlling, of supervision, of whatever stuff, because this is our main issues regarding drug pollution. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Those are very interesting. I think many hands are coming. So let me give a chance for the first speaker from participant from women. Then, yeah. Then I'll come to you. Yeah, you are second.
Thank you to all presenters. Macadam David from Disaster Risk Management Commission. Hazard by itself is not disaster. Many people live in disaster risk area. Disaster risk is equal to hazard times vulnerability over capacity. We increase our capacity, minimize to our vulnerability. We need private experts in everywhere, like private companies, and also government sectors, and also non-government organizations. This is thanks to all.
Great. Yeah, we have to increase our capacity and also with the idea to minimize our risk. Thank you for your idea. And next. Yeah. Oh, you want to take the floor, please.
Thank you very much for the nice presentation. Because all of us. I am from Ministry of Agriculture, Department of Environment and Climate Change. As I have just like a question or explanation. First, if we know or can we know annual chemical interest in our country, and then we should compare it with other African countries, and then what would be us when we compare to other African countries, because I think it's not the amount, but the problem is the management, as far as I understand. But there are, when it's entered to our country, I think it's legally registered. There is a registration of chemicals. But when we assess it, there are some chemicals out of the registry because they enter to the corridor of the country. We don't know where it comes from, but the pollution or it may be long persistent pollutant. And depending on this, not only the entry from the black market or the other corridor of the country, but the user also use the public materials, the plastic or other things. This may be another headache, rather than we are talking about the biotransfer or activation. The material by itself, as far as I understand, has its own problem. Based on this, I feel maybe from the importers up to the users, it needs continuous awareness from the importer up to the user. And then continuous media coverage, continuous awareness, continuous media coverage, and then if each political commitment and a leadership commitment. If they are committed, it will be easy to do something. And then after political commitment, it comes to accountability. Then when we come to accountability, we start to acting based on the legal framework. What I feel. Somebody can do something or can do something based on his knowledge or her knowledge. Even the leaders must understand what is a constraint for the next generation, because it's persistent. We are talking about sustainable development. It may be one of a headache to our sustainable development. This is my suggestion, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. You suppose the second one, but I need it one day.
That's fine, that's fine.
Right.
So hi, my name is Sandra from building on what colleagues have said, I think that maybe there needs to be a sort of institutional gap analysis. First, to identify what is it that we're missing, because if you don't understand the problem, how do you address it, right? And then I think that once you identify the gaps, you also need to clearly define the roles and responsibilities of different institutions and ministries. So once you have that, who's responsible for what, then you can build on that. And you can also learn from other countries' best practices. So a few years ago, there was a partnership between the former Ministry of Water, Irrigation and Energy and the Swedish Meteorological Institute. And it was capacity building for Maui in Ethiopia. And I know that it was very successful. So maybe that's something that could also be done for waste management in the country. Sweden has one of the most efficient waste management certain sectors in the world. So looking maybe at that, or maybe other countries that are also here in Africa. And then I think also awareness raising, as many here have said, but not only awareness raising for institutions, but also at the household. So as a private person, where do I leave my light bulbs? Where do I leave my batteries? You know, how do I recycle? Do I have that information? It should be available. The information should be available for everybody, for the public. But I think also you start early, so you start from schools. You know, children, the importance of proper waste management. I think about it.
Yeah, when you are talking about busing. Okay.
So yeah, starting at the early ages in school, you know, much earlier at the age of 5, 6, 7, teaching them how to properly, recycle. As small kids, you start very early. You don't start when they're already adults. Those are just some of my suggestions.
Great, thank you so much. And I think it will be the last speaker for go to the lunch. And
okay, thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
please.
Okay, thank you. My name is Dr. So you established in the Southeast here.
Oh.
The issue is very serious and timely. Of course, let me start from the existing problem area where I am from. There are so many stores in which agricultural chemicals expired laboratory chemicals. It is stored. You know why everybody is confused what to do with these dirty chemicals. There are so many mandated entities. This EPA nationally and regional bureaus related to or mandated to environment and areas related to environment. Above all, there is the so-called DG agency nationally. The office is basically mandated for its purchase and removal or disposal of outdated chemicals, equipment, and so on. But the problem is there is a lack of awareness, there is a lack of serious problem of understanding the serious problem, what will happen. at the end of outdated, at the end of using all the chemicals or instruments and risks or hazards related to the chemicals that we purchase. Therefore, as to my opinion, what has to be done in this regard is enforcing legal frameworks. You know, there are some legal documents or proclamations in place. The problem is enforcing those legal documents or legal or mandated entities to act on it. Therefore, the government or stakeholders has to take action on enhancing or enforcing these legal entities. Then after, we need to establish task force. We need to remove, we need to minimize all the problems that we are going to face at first. Then after, these enforced legal entities may act accordingly after having removed all the problems that we are going to face. So many high schools or secondary schools are really storing expired chemicals. These school communities are not aware of the serious problems that stored chemicals may cause. As to the information mentioned, the former speaker, we need to teach our community first. We need to create the awareness for the coming generation, for the youth, for the students, that the chemicals are very dangerous. Storing such a chemicals or mismanaging the waste may cause very serious problems. Therefore, there we can list so many tasks or activities what have been done, but we need to act on top of our specific activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I think I think we will have to go to the line and we will be back after the line to summarize what you have been speaking for. The housekeeping issue, I think it's ready and we can go out there. Yeah. Yeah, just we will back at 2.
Central.